So this is a 2020 Honda Pioneer. This is the 1005, as you can see right there. 5 seats. You got 3 up here, and you got 2 that pop up in the back in the dump bed. And we use this thing for all kinds of projects around our property and homestead. We've had it for 5 years, and it has been a workhorse for us. And whether we are towing our wood chipper or trailers, or we're using the winch down here for hauling or pulling stuff out of a ditch, or even building this barn. I mean, there's so many purposes for a machine like this. And maybe guys, you are looking at buying something like this, or maybe you already have one and you want some more information about it, or maybe you just like watching videos about side-by-sides, and that's totally cool too. But this video is for you. And so what I do is share my pros, my cons, my tips, and really things I've learned over the last 5 years of using this Honda Pioneer. So the primary purpose of this for us is that I take this with me all over the property. So we've got a big pasture way over there, and I take this all over the property to do tree work or or building things, other kinds of projects. And I just keep all my tools. I took them out for the purpose of the video, but I keep all my tools back here. And that's nice because if I need to go do a project somewhere on the property, I can just jump in here and go. Now I have tools in my workshop here, of course, but here's all the tools that I take with me. So all these tools, they always just go with me everywhere, including my chainsaw. So that just stays in the back of that dump bed. And that's just, it becomes like a mobile workstation, not only because of what I can put it back here, but also if I open this up, try to do this one-handed, this becomes a portable workstation, work table here as well. So, but there's several things that we've learned about this over the last 5 years, and things that we've added as well. And I want to talk about that. One of the reasons that we went with the Honda Pioneer as opposed to some of the Polaris Rangers and stuff. I had a Polaris Ranger before this, the 570. It only had 3 seats across the front and nothing in the back. But my family grew. We have 5 in our family now. And so we wanted to have 5 seats. And of course, we now have that with this. But with a lot of those other companies, to get more than 3 seats, you have to buy a machine like this that has another row and then the dump bed. And so it makes your wheelbase pretty long, which means that you can't get in and out of trees as easily. And it means that you got to buy a bigger trailer if you want to haul it. So just a few things to keep in mind. And of course, we like the Honda brand. I mean, they've always been reliable for us for other things. So we like that as well. So that's some of the reasons we bought this. The other thing I'll say about the wheelbase and everything of a machine like this, as opposed to a pickup truck, is that because of the wheelbase, the width and length, you can get in and out of trees, a lot more nimble. You can get in and out of trees that you can't do with a truck. And like I said, we're always towing and hauling like wood chipper and other trailers with this, and be able to get to navigate in and out of trees like that is just super, super handy. So anyway, let me just start at the beginning up here at the front and work my way back and show you some of the things we've added to this that have just really been helpful for us. Obviously, one is the winch, as I mentioned. It's just a KFI 2,500 pound winch. So I think it's necessary to have something like that on a vehicle or a side-by-side like this, because you can really help people out of a jam, out of a situation. Like I said, pulling logs out, building things, pulling fence. I pulled fence with this. All kinds of reasons, I think, to have a winch. I added it myself. I added all this stuff myself. So I added this myself. It wasn't too hard. Windshield, obviously. I went down the highway, interstate, a few days ago. And this was on a trailer, and the wind did not press that in. I was going like 70 miles per hour, so did not push that in. That's pretty good. So I'll try to leave links for some of the stuff down below. This one, though, you want to have something like this on your windshield, whatever kind of windshield you get, though, because it allows ventilation. And so in the wintertime, if you ever driven one of these things in the wintertime, you know that cold air that hits you in the face. You know about it. But in the summer, it's good to have ventilation like this, so you can still have that breeze. We did add a mirror up here. That's always nice to know who's behind you, coming up behind you, or just your surroundings. Now we did also add this little cargo netting storage unit down here, organizer. And I took stuff out here again for the video, but I usually have my gloves and other stuff down in this. I wish they would have added that initially, but they didn't, so I'm not sure why. But that's a nice thing to have. Now I did add a bypass for the seat belt. So if you don't know what that is, you can research it because I can't officially recommend it. But basically, if you have your seat belt clipped in, you can go pretty fast. But if you don't have it clipped in, you're getting in and out, you don't want to keep having to buckle up, well, you can only go to a certain mile per hour. So just you can look that up later, but we've liked it. Doors, side doors right here. These are nice. I like having these two side doors. Why? Well, sometimes I'll have heavy stuff. Like I had a big air compressor right here a couple days ago. And for me, from the end down there to reach all the way over and try to grab the air compressor was really tough. And so to have this space where I just put the air compressor right there and then grab it from this door is really nice. So the other reason to have this side door obviously is for the passengers back here. And so I've got this mat I'll talk about in just a second, but they got this mat and there's the seats underneath, and you just pop those seats up. There's seat belts all across there too, but seat belts that just kind of clip in up here for the back passengers. This bed mat here is a rubberized kind of bed mat, and this is one of the best things we have purchased for this. It's got this little lip that goes around, so it kind of creates this bathtub kind of look. And that's nice because if you have dirt or sand or anything else, it's not going to get underneath. And the reason I say that is because underneath this, you've got all these cracks. Let me get this out here. Got all these cracks for the two seats. And if you had dirt or even firewood pieces or wood chips or sand, you know, it's all going to get in those cracks. And so having something like this is just so nice. The other reason to have this is if you're tossing in cinder blocks or something heavy, you don't want to dent that hard plastic below. I mentioned you can use this as a work bench back here. When I first got it though, these cables right here were shorter. And I don't know why they did that. And guys, if you know, let me know in the comments, but they were shorter. And so when you opened it all the way, it was only to about right there. And I was like, what? Why did they do that? So anyway, I like these longer ones that I purchased and just added those on instead. And now, if you can see, it's just a nice flat bed. So that's what I prefer. Don't know why they did that. So obviously you got a tow ball down here, hitch, and it's just kind of standard hitch for all your towing needs. So I've towed a lot of stuff with this thing, and it's just very powerful. You know, using something like this to pull, you know, those posts out of the ground that are concrete in the ground. A lot easier with this for sure than that four-wheeler. Just different purposes, I guess, for each one. I have a whole video on that. But guys, I've really enjoyed this. I think this has just been a great all-around machine tool that has really helped us out. It's saved a ton of time. And I don't know if I want to keep giving you all kinds of reasons, guys, if you're watching this, to buy something like this. But if you have animals or property, I mean, we're always hauling our feed and hay and all that kind of stuff in the back there to the animals, you know, doing doing all kinds of firewood in this and dumping it. I will say a few negatives that on the dump bed, by the way, the dump bed lever right there, and you got that on both sides, which my Polaris did not have on both sides, it was just on one. But the dump bed is not hydraulic, so you got to manually lift this thing up. So if it is got a ton of heavy stuff in here, you might need to remove some of that before you start lifting it. But to be able to still dump with this has just been super nice. Like I said, a couple negatives though. One, it gets really hot. Here's the engine. It's just below this, like at the feet of the passengers back here. And so if you do have passengers back here, in the summertime, it's gonna get really, really hot by the feet. In the wintertime, it's nice. It's like a warmer down there. So that is something you gotta think about. It's also very loud. If you're talking with someone up here, this is a lot louder than my Polaris Ranger. So I don't know, so take that for what it is, but having conversations up front is a little more difficult. However, overall, this has been a great machine. And if you have other questions about this or other thoughts or ways that you use this, then please drop that down below in the comments. I really appreciate you and your support for us, and we'll see you in the next video.